My pistol clean, I caught a case of habits to the past. The lawyer said don't smoke, I'm like, good Lord, Buddha keep me blessed. I'm buying Nike stock when I see these checks. Motivated my niggas because it's bigger than me. I know that, I might go back to my old shit. Bring the throwback, that's a throwback. Yeah, shit, boy, you try to talk like you know something. My competition is myself, therefore I ain't worried about no one. Not a soul, pot of gold, looking like a stain. Niggas will wet your mud, leave you behind yourself. You play catch up, boy, catch your blood. Cause I done blew inside my mind since I first wrote a rhyme. You're all late, rappers be stuck in the booth, I'm all state. They imposters, steak and lobster, serve my turf, but away and chopper next to Oprah at the opera, okay. If you had everything you ever want right in front of me, what's it gonna be? Lights of the drugs of the girls finally drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Drive me crazy. Drive me crazy. Drive me crazy. Gotta love it though they hating on me. I be on Sunset, still go back to 68 to Stony. Cooked out my basement, dropped my tape and got my homies placements. I play the keys in my sleep on the beach, that's a dream vacation. Say you ain't heard, I let you lie, just know you dig your grave. No turning back when you done find it, that's the hand you play. Game over on the driving range in a Range Rover, halfway sober with my middle finger up. Fuck these hoes, I'm a tiger to jump. Middle of the summer with the wood on me and the feet for the snow. White girl, she a feet for the blood, I'm a G to the call. You know me and Kiki Palmer, I'm TSC for that. Picture everything you ever want right in front of you. Ooh. The lights of the drugs of the girls finally drives me crazy. Drive me crazy. Drive me crazy. Drives me crazy. Drive me crazy. Drives me crazy.
And it still ain't a goddamn thing they can tell me. What could compel me to jump in, get a piece of this bread, pudding, wake up, cake up, walking in the form of my elder cause I'm glowed up, glowed up. Bitch, don't I look like a pharaoh? Fuck your story tale, nigga, pull up. Shit and piss on your head, nigga, clocking. Grab my check out the mail room, then back in. Papa, daddy Warbucks, like Warhol with an 8-ball and a paintbrush. I'm AWOL, but I ain't done. Full-time killing, bad hole driller. Chowder for the kitten, mellow yellow lemon. I'm glowed up. I'm glowed up. Yeah, same town stealing, same squad chilling, bagging for the pit. Can't you see I'm living? I'm glowed up. I'm glowed up. Hey, I'm glowed up. You see me shining, nigga. The silver lining, nickel plated refinery, never sweating the minor. Word to the most honorable, no bullshit in me. Constant laxatives in your child away. That's the shit I can't condone. Full power until we reach the maximum. Gonna all my worries, I'm loony, absolutely out my dome. Stacking my capital, I carve in my legacy. Now tell me, is you with me, chaperone. Full-time killing, bad hole driller. Chowder for the kitten, mellow yellow lemon. I'm glowed up. I'm glowed up. Yeah, same time stealing, same squad chilling, bagging for the pit. Can't you see I'm living? I'm glowed up. I'm glowed up. Yeah. Lately I've been glowed up. Paper finally showed up. Shawty got me going bug. Feeling like the only one out here. Even if I slowed up, got enough work to last the whole damn night. Lately I've been glowed up. Feeling like the only one out here. Lately I've been glowed up. Paper finally showed up. Shawty got me going bug. Feeling like the only one out here. Even if I slowed up, got enough work to last the whole damn night. Lately I've been glowed up. Feeling like the only one out here.
All right, what's up, y'all? All right, let's get into it. Working with testing out a couple different camera features here, so bear with me. Close a couple things out. The prop from tier list is just about done. I think today should be the last day of research. I just had an alert go off for NZD, so let's actually go take a look at this. The majors are coming into play here, so I definitely want to be able to tackle this on and see what do we got going on. We had NZD over here kind of like clearing this out. So actually, hold up, let me switch to. Okay, so yeah, structure is still flowing a bit higher. I think we can come and fill this a bit first before continuing. So NZD with possibilities. We also have Australian. So if you're looking at comparing NZD with Aussie here, and there's definitely a pretty significant difference. So I would rather wait for Australian, especially since we've traded up here, created pretty decent structure. I think we can work our way down to this level instead and trade out of here. So I'm gonna just wait it out. Not really looking to buy anything dollar related quite yet, and wait for majors to come down to this level. So let's see here, and you're seeing euro, CAD, the yen continue to work. Like everything is still working its way down. So not really too inclined to make any buy positions quite yet. But let's look at majors first. We do have New York Open here in just a couple minutes. So let's see what we got. All right, meanwhile, let me get into the chat here. What's up? Y'all can hear me now, right? Yeah, right? Okay. Morning. What's up? Lonzo. What's up, Neri? Austin, Patrick. What's good, Joe? Corey. Got Caius in here. Am I going to be live for meeting minutes? No. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. This meeting minutes is always, it doesn't do anything. This is not like FOMC, interest rates dropping. These typically are absolutely useless. So the FOMC meeting minutes for today, this red folder news is nothing like what we see with a typical, the ones that happen every 6 weeks. This one doesn't really do anything. So, it's not really worth it. Nothing dramatic ever happens. Maybe a little bit of movement, but typically, we don't really get anything going on there. Tomorrow, unemployment claims, same thing, 30 minutes before, or an hour before New York Open, still not really something I'm too concerned about. Probably get more momentum from Friday's price action, actually, more than anything. What's up, Barbados? What's good? Excelente. What's up, Cansada? I see you. Rafa, Marty, Seth, Kevin Rodriguez from Colombia. Buenos dias. Excelente. Got into GU. Sick. What's up, Larry? MNQ short setting up. Sick. I love that you guys are calling it out in here.
I like to see what you guys are, have in mind, have in store. I literally just got used to like looking over there for the mic. So like just instinctively, I'm like over here, but you guys are right here now. So yeah, what's up, Barbados? Morning, Dallas. What's up, Daniel, Hector? ¿Qué tal, primo? So yeah, let's get into it. You guys are seeing some opportunities with indices. So let's go exactly look at that. Yesterday during our syndicate session, we spent a lot of time breaking down how the market played out the way that it did. Yesterday, we shorted indices, caught the highs of the day, down to the lows of the day, absolutely to the exact point. I'm saying, like, I'm grateful that the market actually prioritized my order and I actually got filled. So that's awesome. And then we caught the buy for another 5R, some gold action as well. So we broke down, how and why things went the way that they did. It's good stuff. Now, more importantly, what's in store for today. So with Dow, this is what I wanted to see yesterday. I wanted us to get above these highs, take out Thursday's high, Friday's highs, Monday's highs, Tuesday's highs. So we clear this very much aggressively and work our way right back down. So could we have a shakeout opportunity here and continue our way back down? And if you take a look at NQ very similarly working its way down. We see NASDAQ take out Monday's London session and trade into Friday's New York highs as well. So we trade into here before losing momentum. If you were trading a little bit earlier in the session, then maybe you had the conviction to short within this imbalance. So I definitely like sells already. Structure's looking great, and you have this movement right over here. So you got a nice move right here. So I think we can see some shorts setting up really right out of this zone. So anywhere in here, I think is a great place for sells. It's going to come down to, I think, personal preference on your entry, whether you want to trade near the open of this or trade a little bit higher. I'm okay with trading near the open of this here and looking for something like this and just seeing this continue. I'll focus on the exit here in a second, but I want to make sure I can get this set up here in order. So I'm going to go with 7 micros over here. Where is the order? Okay, it's over there. So I got that there set up, ready to roll. And let's see what kind of momentum we get in the market today. So my entries are around 24,890.75. Looks like it's not gonna come in to hang out today. So I'll set the limits for now. Look, we got a good bearish momentum to kick things off with NQ, with S&P, with Dow. Dow played right into this structure and then dropped, whereas NQ and S&P didn't quite get the pullback, which is okay. So with that being said, could we have buying opportunities further down? Are there any trading opportunities here? So as we're looking at the market from the lows to the highs, could we have, buys down here, all the way down here? And you see the market sell off yesterday before the continuation. And you're going to see this across all the indices here. So you're going to see the last push down during New York session before this thing reverses. So you have NASDAQ doing a move like this. You have S&P and Dow Jones, all of these making very aggressive moves down. However, Dow right now definitely pushed down the most aggressively and is now working its way up. So look at that kind of movement. Huge liquidity capture. This takes out Tokyo lows, London lows. So what a massive reversal out here. If you guys want, you can check. You can have this is just like an indicator that shows you the highs and the lows of the day. But you see Dow take out London low, Tokyo low, and then instantly come right back up to here. So look at how quickly the market just bodied those retail buyers before coming back up. There's definitely some potential here, whether it's if it stays within this big sell-off and we kind of maintain demand here, we could be looking for buys down under later. Looks like it's breaking through, though, so this might be a mitigation setup later on. So this may become a buying opportunity later in the day for Dow. Maybe buys around 49, 550-ish, 555. So something like this looks like it could have potential. You just got to give it a little bit of time. But the other zone is still this last sell-off that we had over here. So you can see the market push down one last time here before the rally. That very well might be an opportunity for us. So over here. So Dow has this move from the low, yesterday's New York session low, to here. And the highs for London highs are basically liquidity as well. So there is some equal high action right there. So retail sellers in here. Dow with the big sweep down before holding up over here. I'm not necessarily looking for any sells for Dow right now. I'm here staying put. But buys down here definitely can make sense. In the meantime, looking at smaller time frames, we are coming back to right now. Dow is filling New York open. S&P, very similar price action. And NASDAQ as well. So NQ here, kicked things off, dropped in, pushed up. It's pretty choppy over here. If you look at NQ didn't quite get down to Tokyo lows yet, so it could definitely still clear some of this as well. So we'll keep our eyes open, whether it's going to be buying NASDAQ down here, buying S&P down here, buying Dow. It could go in really any direction. So we'll just keep an eye on this over here. For now, let's see, just watching price action and ideas over here. We broke above New York Open. So now that it took out New York Open, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of sideways movement prior to New York Open. This is just, I feel like, easy liquidity sweep before we drop again. But the market doesn't have to necessarily listen to me. It can do whatever it wants. Demand is holding up pretty well up here. We did, sell off. This is where it started, 227-point drop. And now we've been moving sideways for about 5 minutes or so. So typically when we break above where smart money sold off, I typically want to see it go higher first. So if we're going to get some buys with Dow, I would feel like we have a higher probability of winning if NQ were to, let's say, clear these Tokyo lows too. So I'm going to set an alert if when we clear Tokyo lows, and then I'm going to label this bad boy too so we'll know. So we'll have Tokyo lows cleared right there. Then we'll know. You see the alert. We'll all know. We'll all know what's good over here. Okay. All right, so that's indices. Anyone have anything else on the radar? I'm going to go through majors. I go through oil. I go through metals, all the good stuff. Maybe a couple stocks here and there. Some crypto stuff. But what's on the radar for you guys? That YM trade was fire. Marty, did you take it? Micro versus mini. If one sweeps liquidity but the other doesn't, which one is best to follow? Mini. Yeah, mini. So mini is going to have the most volume for sure. What's up, Michael? Yeah, mini has the most money runs through mini. Is there an example of that? Are we seeing this not happen across? Did YM look different or something? No, okay, these are pretty good. Yeah, so I'm a little bit leaning more towards sells today. Like S&P is trading a bit more closer to price action to NASDAQ than it is Dow. So I feel like we're going to end up pushing lower with S&P and like going for these Tokyo lows before major reversals. So, yeah. On oil, the micro sub liquidity, but mini never did. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So, yeah, let's go check it out. Why not? All right. I'm going to have an alert if we start to trade lower with Dow just to see what's good over here. All right. Yeah, let's go look at oil. Volume did shift over to new contracts here. So we're going from CLH to CLJ, my friends. CLJ. So we can get rid of this, get rid of that. Let's get CLJ in here. What's happening? Sick. Where am I keeping this? Boom. And then we got our micros over here. Sweet. The cool thing is if you trade on Tradetopia specifically, and other platforms do, they still automatically like update your contracts, so you don't really have to go looking for them. On TradingView, since you're just custom doing all of this, then yeah, you have to. Yeah, good looks, Seth. When you are adding new contracts, so if you guys are using TradeSyncer, which is I trade futures, multiple accounts through that. With TradeSyncer, you do have to make sure that you have the right contracts that are being copied over. So, for example, we went from oil CLH to oil CLJ. In TradeSyncer, you have to kind of add CLJ and make it like something that's copying over. So that way you have it set. Always, yes, that's always on top of it. Okay, so the difference between CLJ sweeping something and CL, let's see, sub-liquidity. Are you talking about this liquidity here? Or which one specifically are you talking about? Both are looking like they sweep there, but maybe you're saying something higher time frame that I'm not seeing right now. CLJ, let's see. Send me the chart, Sarah. If you can, drop the chart in the Tradetopia chat, and then, yeah, you guys can always drop your charts here. So I'll make a little section here. Right? Drop your charts for feedback below. Right here. Okay. So I don't really see any setups here for now. Clearing the highs. That's cool. London lows are... Yeah, not really looking at anything here. I could look at Bitcoin. For sure. All right, so oil, I think I saw before I look at Bitcoin, let me just check in on indices real quick. And then I see Lonzo dropped something as well. Okay, so NQ held this low pretty well, like structure-wise. We've been trading down here now for an hour. So I like my sells. Honestly, I'm with the sells. I like what we got over here. I like our chances. S&P ripping a little higher, heading up there first. Dow, can Dow take out London highs? And because that would be a very nice liquidity sweep with Dow in unison with NQ getting into the zone. I like that. I like those confirmations. Come on. Still feeling the run right now. I have like that like runner's high and like cough throat thingy. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna have excuse me. I'm gonna have an eye out on an eye for NQ in case we get closer to there. So let me set something up here. Gotta make sure my stop's all good. Okay. So it looks like we're starting to take this out, getting closer to the imbalance. Honestly, I don't want to deviate your attention too much here since we're getting pretty close. And then Dow trading closer to the highs. Looks like it just mitigated this tiny little bump before it dropped. I don't see this lasting much longer. I think we're going to go for this up here now. Let's see. What did I just do? All right, here we go. All right, Dow getting closer and Q getting closer to this idea. I like trading this down to at least taking these Tokyo lows. We don't have to go for more than this, to be honest. Like this is pretty solid. Just going to here is still a 5.6 R. Come on. That's what we like to see. That's what we want to see. So we're not too far from this triggering of less than 30 points out. And the timing, the alignment with Dow Jones getting to sweeping London highs at the same time. This is fantastic. Look at this. Dow is about to clear those highs as we approach. So let's see. I want to see a little pump here. It's clear. See that clear? As we're seeing NQ. Honestly, I might lower my entry just a tad bit here. So I'm actually going to lower my entry a little bit, and I'll expose myself to a bit more risk right there. That's okay. And then that's going to take my RR to sub 5, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm okay with this here. Because I feel like we could reject this order block and then just melt. Right now, Dow traded right out of resistance, so it didn't quite clear this London high. This, to me, is like this last-second enticement of... Yeah, this last-second enticement of more retail sellers before this thing really starts to work its way down. So, yeah, I like what we're seeing here. You know what? I want to see something here. All right. Hopefully, how's the camera, the overall, the visual, like how does the screen share look? Let me know. All right, so check this out. All right, now NQ is pushing a bit more. Man, I'm going to push this back up a little bit more again. Maybe we can get a better entry now. Now, like, since we haven't cleared London highs yet, look at this. It's not quite clearing it yet. So we're getting closer there and back and there and back. I'm not taking the sell unless Dow. I want to see Dow sweep those highs. I think that's what's going to give us the signature setup. I think we get like one more wick up into here. Let's see it play out. It's like, look at this. Look at how it's just coming right into here, luring in sellers. Now you're getting the break below. I mean, come on. Engulfings, like, this to me looks like enticement for sure. Actually, it's dropping a lot. Unless YM looked different and YM cleared it. No, YM did not. Okay. So keeping this in mind here, it's a pretty fat drop. That means, all this means is that there's a lot of retail sells here now. Quite a bit. So I'm going to stay put here. Let's see what happens next out of this. Is this going to bounce and give a typical break and retest bounce? So what's interesting is there's kind of two types of retail entries in the market now. There's retail selling up here, and then there's retail buying down here. So you kind of have an enticement of both. Which one's going to play out is the question. So at this point, like, I don't take anything. I'm chilling. I don't find the need to at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, sit on the sidelines. With peso, I know some of you were, I think it was, Mexican peso. I don't know if this is the right contract still. So y'all let me know if this is the right contract here. All right. What's the setup that you see here, Lonzo? Is it this spike down and the continuation? I like it like that. It starts playing in the background. The yen setup I sent is active. I can check that out in a second as well. Excuse me. So, what the hell is going on over here? All right. Just like clearing my throat for perpetually over here. All right, so you got a little push down. Got the rally. Nice little zone over here. Let's zoom out a little bit. We've been pushing to the upside. The market traded above, lost some momentum, break and retest, rallied again. So, I mean, we've been trading up here for just about a day. So I think we can see a nice buy out of here. Yeah. I wouldn't go for a higher high, I think, with a buy here though. So what I would like to see out of this would be something like this. Let's see. Like right around here for a setup. And then maybe just trade into this area here. So nothing crazy. Maybe you can go a little bit higher. I wouldn't force it too much, but into this, I'd say bare minimum 2.3R. I mean, this keeps you in the game. These base hits go a long way, so I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's set this up. 11 cons over here. 495 risk. I think we're in a good place here. 6MH. So the entry here would be a buy limit at 0.5795. Looking at 11 contracts. The only thing would be your margin. Just like being aware of your margin here. So set your alerts. You might not be able to trade as much as you want. It's an exotic pair or a contract. So sometimes you don't really get what you want there. Just something to keep in mind. So some of your, depending on who you trade with, you might run into a margin issue there. All right. Before I look at the yen, and I'm going to look at Bitcoin too. I have not forgotten about you, Ruben. But look at this. Like we traded all the way back down. break and retest vibe happening here. Wouldn't really be a shakeout since we have liquidity equal highs here, so I wouldn't go for a shakeout there or anything like that. Yeah, I think it looks like NQ could take the high, and so could Dow. Yeah. Let's see how how we run it. With the way this is looking right now, and it kind of looks like Dow is slightly slower to go higher. I'm actually going to move my entry a little bit higher than I did before, have it break above the order block. So I'm going to actually trade it into here, which drops down my risk. And the reason I'm raising it a little bit more is I'm just adapting to what the market's showing. And like, for example, Dow right now is slightly slower on the way up. So here's how I can explain this. Higher time frame, Dow is still above where even NQ is right now. So this is trading where we were trading around 730, whereas NQ is still trading down here, like we still have at these lower levels price action. So we haven't quite gotten to this spike up. Whereas like Dow is trading where this thing spiked up before. So I'm a bit more aware, and then I just basically want to see when this takes out the high, are we going to be pretty much lined up to trigger our setup in or not? If I see that we're just short of like an entry here and Dow is taking out these highs and we're short of the entry, then cool, I can just manually execute and like we're gravy. We're chilling. So got both. Get this all lined up. Adaptable if necessary. You said you're in a yen buy zone. So, yeah, I'm not buying anything here. I don't think. I don't like how little demand we get every time we try to trade up here. So this looks like a higher time frame distribution for me. I think we end up working our way down to here. So not my buy idea. It's just not how I like my trades. I see that we up liquidity. There's demand over here. So can it reverse out of here? For sure. I've seen that happen plenty of times. But structure-wise, not my favorite. So I'm cool with staying out of the game there. And then looking at our idea with NQ and selling, man, NQ is not Dow can still go higher, and I'm a little concerned about this NQ trade. So I'm okay with having this trade up here. If anything, honestly, it seems like it can go actually even higher than where I have the entry right now. So let's see how this goes. I'm okay keeping my risk at about a 3/4 risk right now. I can just see Dow still pushing higher. There's always a chance that Dow doesn't clear liquidity here, and it just wants to reject some of this order block action and then go. So we'll see. I'm pretty close to getting triggered in. I'm in now. We'll see what happens from here. The other thing that could be something, is if we're going to go even higher. But yeah, I'm active in this. Let's see where Dow's at. Dow's still not quite up there. So this loss is possible. I think this is a vulnerable trade. I probably could have just gone half risk even. Before it was looking solid, but now that Dow is kind of struggling to take out those highs, it's still within the structure. There's incentive for this to go higher. So I don't love my chances with NQ as much as I would have before. So I'm okay that I'm at less risk. I honestly would have preferred to be at even less risk because of that. Yeah, and honestly, what we might end up just seeing is we might end up seeing a short out of up here. Here we kind of see another spike higher and then a sell. So let me zoom out a little bit. And so this is the last high that we got. We take out these highs and then make the move. So if we have, let's see, Dow take out those highs and then we trade over to here, I'm not against this setup either. So let's see. We're pretty close. I'm pretty close to getting stopped out. Maybe some of you decided to opt out of this idea. If that is the case, then cool. I hope that you guys, this goes in whatever way. I don't hate that I took this trade, but I also don't love that I took this trade, just because I was very well aware of Dow wanting to take out this high. So we'll see. I mean, maybe we survive here by just a hair, or we get clapped. And either way, like the amount, since that we're risking 3/4 risk, I'm not totally upset with that. I'm going to, I think, be more on the market execution side of this idea if we end up getting up to here. So let's see here. And then this one I'm open to taking for a full risk. But yeah, that's going to be based off of it stops above the London high. Still don't have Dow taking out liquidity. So this is what I want to see. I want to see this alert go off. And then with that being said, then and only then am I going to greenlight myself for this. So not quite there yet. Yeah, looks like, going to have to hold off for now. Which is what I should have done, to be honest. I'd say, like, I didn't need to take that loss. It was an avoidable trade for sure with NASDAQ over here. Avoidable for sure on many levels. If we're looking at S&P as well, like S&P takes out these highs, we break below. This is not really maintaining either, so we clear liquidity here. Yeah, I think my focus now, whether it's with buying or selling, right now I just don't have the context for it, so just gonna have to wait it out. NQ looks like more and more like it just picked up way more momentum. So the market started to pick up a lot more buying momentum overall. Staying within the structure, that's nice, but still not enough for me. Like, I think we can still clear this. So let's see. Let's wait it out. There's a chance that this is where we see a shift in momentum. Maybe NQ or Dow starts to rip, and NQ stays put. Otherwise, let's see. Looking at S&P, there's always a chance S&P has the best setup. Not always the case. Typically not the case. But we saw liquidity sweep. We saw a drop, but we cleared this liquidity. So I wouldn't say that we're looking for... There's not really a sell setup over here right now. All right, we're going into the new hour. Momentum, we tend to get a little spike in volume going into, the new hour as well. Let's see, are we going to get anything here? Now, the other option is that we see a shakeout could unfold. So I'm still open to buys way down here with Dow. More and more, it's starting to look like that could be the case. So whether it's buy setups with Dow in this like 49,570 level, right around here, that's an option. There's also the option that we take out London highs and then we can see a shakeout setup appear where we basically clear liquidity, lose demand. So you lose that buyer's demand. And then we kind of can do something like this. This could be a possibility as well as it works its way down. So this is always an option. Always an option here. S&P chilling. And NQ now also took out London high. So avoided, further adding to the loss column here. Didn't take anything here. Didn't make sense to. The incentive to take out London highs is definitely there. So now we're seeing Dow take out London highs. NQ take out London highs. S&P chilling. S&P Not doing anything yet. So still probably going to clear this up here. So right now, don't chase it. Like, what are the mistakes that I see most people make? Sadly, is that people want to, you know, like if they sold once, they kind of want to sell all day. And that's just not going to work out. Why is this not showing up? If I flip this around, what's it going to look like? Oh, I'm super tiny. Hold on. Give me a sec, y'all. Why is this being weird? Okay, that's weird. The Osmo is very strange with the settings here. All right, we're just going to flip this back. Okay, that's better. I guess this is it. All right, whatever. All right, so we're seeing the beginning of Dow taking out London highs and dropping back in, and Q, on the other hand, still ripping. Still pushing. While Dow now, possible shakeouts. Ooh. Okay. I like this. I like this more and more. Clear the highs. Can we establish some, you know, like kind of relax, lure in retail buyers here for a bit, and then take a sell up here? I think we got a shot. I think we got a shot at this. Let me zoom out a bit more. What are we seeing with NASDAQ? So NASDAQ is starting to trade. So let's zoom out, right? NASDAQ does have a lot of imbalance to fill, but it did finally take out these highs as well. So this it hadn't done yet. There's a small order block in here with NQ. I think it's a very sketchy idea to look for a sell right away. We dropped 1-2 minutes. We came back in here. There's like this urge. I have a personal urge to just want to, you know, take a short over here right now. I'm going to be honest. But to be fair, there's a lot of motive for this to continue to the upside. So we don't want to force anything. We don't want to rush into anything. My setup needs to see, like the one that I know has a good probability, a good win rate, and a good RR. It needs more time below here before it's ready to sell off. Taking a sell here would be more of like a little bit more of impulsivity than it would be just a plan. So I'm just going to hold off on that as much as I was like interested in it. And we're definitely seeing a huge shift in perspective and volume. Like NQ and S&P now are like, it's time to rip. So as we lead into further, as we see the market, you know, continue and evolve, like this is now becoming an accumulation on a 15-minute. So this is a very big shift in structure overall. We might be seeing the first bullish structure forming on the 15-minute, and this could change the entire way we continue to ride the market moving forward. It's actually a pretty big deal here, as we have been kind of looking to see and confirm, are we done dropping with the market? And I actually talked about this last week and earlier on this week, but the market giving this shakeout setup on the daily was right here, and letting this run and, you know, continue was a big part of what we could see happen. And so I think like yeah, I mean, it's sometimes mind-blowing to believe, but it looks like, especially if we stay bullish like right now, that we are, in the higher lows of this, and then we could expect the markets all the indice markets, the stock markets, to go and make higher highs again. So big shift, at least on the 15-minute. It doesn't mean that we can't come back. I'm saying we can. Like, we can eventually trade, whether it's down here or further down, for sure. But these lows are more than likely, whether it's NASDAQ or Dow Jones, we might be seeing the beginning of like lows that are sustainable, and kind of like confirming the higher lows, at least in the higher time frames. So cool to witness here. So from where we're at right now, unless things start to shift around again, then the buy setups look pretty solid. So let me go ahead and just delete this for now. And so now, if we're looking at this, we could be seeing buy ideas. Here's where we had the last sell-off with NQ. So there's a chance, and we'll want to see how the market climbs, steps its way down eventually. But if NQ remains the stronger bull and it's just slower to work its way down, then a buy out of here would make sense. Same thing with S&P. Whereas, honestly, with Dow, the big sell-off happened with New York Open. So we see this big drop over here, and the trading, in my opinion, would be way down into the zone. So now we'll just keep an eye out on how the market works its way down, and what will make the most sense, because you definitely don't have to rush into anything here. So I think lessons wise, like, the price action was very revealing. Like, once we started to see NQ really take over and start to go bullish, I'd say that the loss was avoidable. I think I was just kind of willing to find out because I was already under leveraged a bit, but could have been avoided. And as you guys saw, we opted out of any additional sells because of that same reason. So we didn't get too caught up on, having to sell, and it's got to drop eventually. Like, that's not something you want to be stuck with, that kind of mindset by any means. It doesn't have to drop eventually. Okay, now Bitcoin. Ruben, you asked about Bitcoin and my thoughts on it, so let me give those to you. Bitcoin here took out London, Tokyo lows as well. So let me zoom out actually one notch. I still want buys down here. I think we have like an opportunity to trade within the zone. So I still have that lined up. Outside of that though, I don't really have like any recent entries that I like. We have a bit of an imbalance over here. So if you look at this last push down from Friday the 13th, like London session, a nice push down and then a rally. We don't really come back there. So I felt like we could. But then what we're seeing so far with price is this. So now we're getting some action over here. We saw a Bitcoin take out liquidity, Tokyo lows, and then it quickly climbs up. There was an opportunity maybe for a shakeout setup here, but since we break these highs, we don't have that now. So what we really would want to see is the market, kind of create bullish structure. So I would want to see Bitcoin go higher like this, and then we could look for buys in the zone. So that's one thing that we could be possibly considering, something like that. The other thing we could be looking at is kind of where could we be shorting from. We've been seeing lower highs, and I don't think we really close out this move. So we have some resistance over here. The market takes out those highs and then sells off. So right now I'm leaning more towards continuing to sell. So we got some resistance over here. On Monday, pre-New York Open, clear the high, play into the imbalance, and then just drop. From here, we got close, so we filled some of this, but then we just kept working our way down. So I would want to see the market trade closer to here for sells. What were you thinking? What were you looking at here in the market? Was it something more intraday? Yeah, let me know what you had on your mind. I know you can see this kind of like spike up and things drop, but I also see this right there too. Just liquidity resistance as well. What were you thinking about, Ruben? Caught the buy up. Ooh, what a G. So when you avoid losses, do you still add them to the journal? I mean, not really. Like trades that I didn't take. It's kind of, it's like a trade that, you could add them to like case studies. So like, okay, here's an example of why I didn't take this. Or like, it's an example of, okay, this was missing a confirmation, so I opted out. So it's something that you could add. I wouldn't say it's like the trading journal to track like what your actual decision making, but I think if it's like, it helps you prove to yourself, all right, these confirmations aren't there, and like this consistently helps me avoid losses. I think it's worth documenting. I'd say maybe just in a different part of your looking to invest at a low, waiting for 60K. I had a buy at 66. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be adding more at sub 63,600. That's kind of like my like. Let me just dump a whole bunch of money into this thing. Yeah, I used to struggle with that. What do you think of gold potential sells around 50.45? Let's take a look at it. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Gold. Yesterday's gold buy was decent. Ended up ripping. I do have a sell on gold up here in the zone that you're talking about. So, yeah, our gold buy from yesterday ends up just absolutely going. Sheesh. Things on fire. So, silver and gold pushing. Silver leading the pump right now. It's definitely like, look at how silver has already cleared all of this liquidity, trading into this massive spike up here. So it's trading into that Sunday, February 15th weekly open. So that's this week, right? Sunday, February. Yeah. So this week's open, we're already trading up there. Whereas gold, not quite there yet. So I like that gold short. I like selling gold in here. 50. I'm looking at for futures, which would be 50, 57. So I like a short over here. So clearing these highs. Here's where you have some resistance before. So like right over here. This looks pretty good over here. Yeah. So I like this short over here. Some of you might want it even higher. Maybe you're looking for sells in this higher levels of resistance. Do your thing. I'm cool with it. So I think we can get a nice rejection out of this zone and then catch a pretty decent drop. I mean, counter trend 2Rs are always nice. I would say playing into this imbalance. If it happens today, we might be able to catch a good amount of this imbalance down for like a 3.5. So let's see what a mini would look like. I know some aren't necessarily... I know there's a lot of issues with... I don't think I can trade a mini on this. What did I say? 550... What? 550, 56, 7. Okay. 50, 56, 7. This looks a little different. The stop is a bit bigger over here because the micro was just a bigger wick. I'm going to keep my stop the same. Anyways, so with this, it's a pretty big. I mean, this is probably like maybe 2 micros I can trade here. There's it 2 micros is 364 risk. If I did 3, what are we looking with? What do we got going on? 546. All right, I can work with that. I know some of you might be limited based off of your account balance, based off of your what's the word I'm looking for? Account balance, or just what accounts you're trading. If you're trading your live accounts with futures, or if you're trading CFDs, you know, whatever, it's going to be different for everybody. So you might have to under leverage if you can only trade 1 micro or 2 micros. So I'd say just prepare accordingly, for sure. So yeah, let me share some of these ideas. We got a few things going on over here. We got a few ideas, so let's check it out. Let's start getting some things going here. So was it this one? This one. All right, so some charts here. Was it? Yeah, you had your yen set up. Awesome. Hopefully that worked out for you. Lonzo, I know you were setting the buy idea. Can we post it if we're closer to that as well now? How do I exit out of this? Okay. Nary, so you missed something? Oil. On the 1 hour. That was clean, though. That's all right. You'll get the next one. Locked in a 6R. That's just Yamane for you. Beautiful setup. Well done, my brother. Done for the day, yeah? Let's go. Good work, bro. Where is... Oh, God, that was an image. Not a recent trade, but would like to hear feedback. Sell out of here. Let's see. I mean, it's not like a smart money play, in my opinion. So I don't exactly know why you took this trade. So if you can break down why, that would obviously give me a better perspective. Let's see here. Jason Wilson. Nasty. Just nasty. That's wildin'. Good stuff, dude. Love that for you. What a snipe. Hard shit what you got. What's that? Silver. Yeah, that's nice. That's clean. Yeah, definitely keep that on the radar for sure, for sure. Yeah, y'all are beasts. You know, I would say y'all got some motion. All right, today's setups. February 18, 2026. So we got gold. So we had weekly open, cleared out highs, then proceeded to melt, looking to sell out of the open. Silver has more bullish momentum and more than likely will be trading above weekly open by then. Signs of divergence. Shorts pending. Okay. Got that going for y'all. And I like your take on silver buys as well, right? You had this last sell-off before the market rallied. So the buys here, if I'm not mistaken, this is your perspective. You got, more and more context here. But yeah, this is the move over her. I could definitely see this. So we got a little buy situation here on silver. Metal or indices still going even higher, guys, in case you were wondering. Silver. Ripping, bullish, clean spike down during Tokyo session before rallying. Could take some time to come back down, but keep this buy in mind. All right. Cool. Cool. Damn, what happened to the stream? Y'all just fell off. They're like, I took a loss, so fuck this guy. I lost NQ, and I didn't set a stop loss. So, you know what, man? Can't do it no more. Or, people just have jobs to get to, responsibilities and whatnot. Since because it's pretty obvious. It's like, what was it? Turn of the hour, and people just fell off. It's got to be the L, though. I'm just saying. There's no coincidences here. It's like I fed y'all 10R. Y'all just leave me like this. My goodness. How did majors do? Did y'all end up getting a good bounce out of here? I know some of you were looking for buys. Euro still pushing down. CAD. Yen kind of just still chilling. Pound. Nah, I was chilling. 100 win rate signals, huh? Where would you sell indices? Not interested. People do have jobs, like I'm well aware. People got things to do. Where would I sell indices? So yeah, let's go over that because I was still in the market for sells. However, they're pretty up here though. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this here. So whether it's Dow or NQ or S&P, we'll just go in order. Took the L like a champ. I mean, some of y'all know how to lose. You've been trained in the arts of learning how to take a punch for sure. So we have pretty clean sells. I'm sure there's a chance that we might get shorts somewhere in here, a little order block. It reverses out of some sort of support. That happens. High probability play for me would be either Dow up here in the zone. We've had a pretty good amount of resistance before around like these areas. So like 50, 30, 90, 50, 30, 75 to 50, 400. Like this range is pretty strong for reversals. Like we've just seen this time and time again. Like this zone specifically looks pretty good. So we've seen this here. I see some good work over here. So you can look for something here as possibility. Otherwise, if we took out London highs, if we bleed our way back down, and then we could be seeing a shakeout. But bigger picture, you have, this is one of the options. So let's map this out. All right, let's map this out here. So let's do a little indices action. YM. This goes back to Thursday, so February 12th, around New York Open price action. So let's get some. All right, so February 12th, New York Open price action clearly liquidates retail sellers before dropping and leaving a mitigation zone. NQ, NES looks similar. At this point, it will come down to price action and divergence. Trade the lagger. So that's an option. And I mean, you can use Fib tool, right? Fibonacci will help you kind of see how the market's, pulling back. So you can use a Fib tool. So you got this over here. Right around the 886 looks like a good reversal zone. All right. So we got Fib, right? So I'll add that into here, right? Use. So right now we're between a 50 and 618 pullback. Use Fib retracement tool to recognize the pullback and choose the right asset. All right, so you have 50 618 pullback with YM. Now if you're looking at S&P, for example, makes one more spike up here and then makes the move. Same thing here, similar setup. You have this last push up here before the drop. And then the pullback here, where are we at in this pullback? This is at a 618, so it's pulling back a little bit faster at the moment. S&P is. And then you have NQ. And NQ right now is looking like it's retracing a bit faster than YM. And you can see that by seeing NQ over here already above a 618. So when you compare these at the moment, it looks like NQ would get to the zone first. This can easily change though. These flip-flop all the time. So I would just keep an eye on this. So let's go here. Exact same setup as YM. Looking to mitigate February 12 zone. Point of interest. NQ currently climbing faster to the zone as of right now. YM looks like a better selling opportunity, but this could change. Okay. Why are the names like that? What do you mean? YM, NQ. That's just the name of that's just the ticker for as futures. This is NASDAQ, so NQ, pretty simple. I feel like you can put that together. I believe in you. YM is Dow Jones. ES is S&P. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. With Dow, so take a look. Dow right now did the classic. We saw a nice little pump above London highs. It's kind of struggling to work its way down. So, yeah. Honestly, why is it called YM? Honestly, I don't really know. I'm not really sure, to be honest. These have been around for a long time, so they probably figured something out a long time ago, and they just kind of kept running with it. Yeah. So shorts though right now, we took this out one more time and trading back in. I feel like I would just rather wait for solid buying opportunities than trying to look for a short. If you can rationalize something, then cool. But for now, Like, here's the last spike up. So maybe if we break below this and have some demand and we spike back up there, then maybe. But for now, I think I'd rather just stay focused on higher probability setups than just wanting to catch. Yeah. So I wouldn't really force it too much. There's the, my bad, let me add this peso idea because it was a good idea. I don't think I shared this one. Yeah, this looks clean. 6M. Shout out Alonzo for this one. I hadn't checked it out. Signature, mitigation, buy setup. And then what else were we waiting for? There was something else. I'll add to it if I can think of it. I believe you guys sent some more ideas. Nice, good stuff, Larry. Going crazy, my boy. All right, Aurelio, where is... Oh, here we go. All right, Amilcar, you dropped another setup in here. Let me check this out. GU. I think I'd have to check it out. I'll once I'm done here, I'll give you another, like I'll respond and show you whatever I'm seeing here. Sells on oil at the top. I can definitely see that. I think you and Neri have a similar take. Yeah. Awesome. Guys, great work. Much love for you all that are just plugging in with me. Yeah, the why, I don't know why. To be honest, I have no idea. But yeah, much love for y'all plugging in, guys. Let's keep at it. Don't let a small loss make, a big difference for you. So appreciate y'all for hopping on. Take the loss like a champ. Took a small loss to kick things off. Plenty of trading left. And even if nothing happens today, like, it is what it is. Like, it's just one day. It's one session, one trade. Don't make it a big deal. You're not trading for the trade like that happened. It's just, it's a compounding effect. All right. Just don't let your emotions compound. That's the big thing. Anyways, as always, I invite you to join our syndicate program. For those of you that are serious about getting payouts this year, let alone this month, this quarter, then I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it. And everyone else in the syndicate that's watching right now will tell you the same thing. So I'll drop the link below. Appreciate y'all. If you're not in the free community, what are you doing? Come on. Join the party. All right, guys. Take care. I'll catch you.